the story of Phil and Kay, my
Mm-hmm.
parents, who, and we put the movie out last year called The Blind, and
Yep.
it's really in the movie form of a guy who was lost and a family who was lost and split up. Dad had kicked us out, and there was really no hope there. There was no, I think they weren't going to go to marriage counseling. It was over. And the only thing left, and my dad's sister begged this preacher to go up there and share the gospel with Phil, and he, sure enough, he did it at a bar in South Arkansas. And it was the only thing at that point when Phil's life was really out of control. He came back to that message, so he planted that seed. He was very courageous in doing that. And I kind of thought, like, had that not happened, had the guy not went up there and taken the courage to go in there and share the gospel with this scary guy named Phil Robertson in his mid 20s, um, my whole life would look completely different. I would have grown up in a completely different circumstance. Dad would have never had Duck Commander. There would have been no Duck Calls. There would have been no Duck Dynasty. So if you carry that forward like 50 years, I mean, think about what God has done just with this family and with the movies, the books, the podcast, the television show that ended in prayer that didn't just show in America, went all over the world. Sadie's ministry and what she's doing, I mean, it's literally hundreds of millions of people
Yeah.
have been touched in some way by the gospel. And I can trace that back to one couple in South Arkansas with three little boys at the time who had no money, no fame, no anything, down and out, broke, um, patched the marriage back together. And I'm not saying like God gave us all this because that happened. It's not that. Had it just happened and kept the family together, it would have been totally worth it. I'd
Mm-hmm.
have grown up with
Mm-hmm.
two parents who my parents were and all that. But you just never know what God may have in store. And so as I look back, I'm very appreciative of that, and that's why I still talk about it because it's impacted every aspect of my life every day. Even talking to you was is part of that fruit that came from that. But also, I look forward and think, who is it that I could talk to that it could change their whole life as well?
Yep.
It could change their whole family. It could change their kids, their grandkids, the three generations from now could be changed by something that I could say to someone and get a conversation started to introduce them to Jesus.